Hi, this is Theo from PunkerBlocks.com. Today I want to show you this comic book called Out on the Wire. The author and artist is Jessica Abel. This book goes behind the scenes into radio stations to find out how they make the radio shows, how they tackle storytelling. It's very insightful, and the main reason why I bought this book is because it features one of my favorite programs, Planet Money from NPR. And it also features a lot of other shows as well, and the journalists behind the making of those shows. Some of the shows include This American Life, The Morph Radio Lab, Snap Judgment Serial, Invisibilia, and a few other smaller narrative radio shows. And from This American Life, you will see Ira Glass as well. We'll be talking about story structure and how you can use story structure to make a better show. And it's very useful if you are into podcasting as well. So let's take a look at what's inside. This is not the first time that Jessica has created a comic book about radio. Her first book is called Radio and Illustrated Guide, and that was commissioned by Ira Glass from This American Life. So you will see Ira Glass appear a lot in the panels. And this book also features an excerpt from Radio and Illustrated Guide. Basically, this guide tells you how radio is made, how the different storytelling techniques, the practical tips that you can use when recording your interviews and stuff like that. I'm not sure if you can hear the noise outside from the window. There's someone doing some maintenance work out there, so it's very irritating when I'm recording stuff like this. So in the book itself, well, it actually talks about disruptive noises like what I'm facing right now, so it's very practical. You can use this for not just for making radio, but also for making your own podcasts, your own shows. And I feel that even if you are a press journalist, a print journalist, there are many tips that you can use as well, because this book does not talk only about making radio. It also talks about story structure, storytelling. So that is really very helpful. For example, this section here is called Taping an Interview. It will tell you how you can tape an interview, how to cut, how to edit the interview into clips that make sense for the audience. These are techniques that all these journalists have spent years to fine-tune, and you can get that now just by buying this comic book to learn. I think that is really very valuable. So these are some of the journalists that are interviewed. This is my favorite show. This is Planet Money from NPR. Although I don't remember seeing any of their faces ever before, but this is the first time I'm looking at all these reporters and journalists in comic form, and it's really nice to be able to put a face to their name, because every time you listen to a radio show, you get very caught up. You are really very interested in the storyteller as well as the story itself. So this section talks about ideas and how you can find ideas, where to get ideas, what ideas are good, which ideas are bad, and how do you filter out the bad ones, how do you turn a bad one into a good one. Many of these journalists, they talk specific, they have certain techniques to get a story angle. And many of these angle usually comes in the form of somebody does something because, and then there will be a twist. That's where the but comes in. So it's very useful. And they also teach you how you can hook your audience, how to create an interesting show. A show that people will want to come back to listen and to make people want to follow your radio show. There are a lot of different real-life examples in this show. All the different journalists, they talk about their challenges and also what made it to the show itself. So it's really very insightful, and it's very educational, and it's very, very useful if you want to learn more about radio making and storytelling. So the book itself is 226 pages. This is a very helpful and valuable book if you are into creating your own podcasts, your own audio shows, or even making YouTube videos, because there are a lot of tips and techniques from the pros, and you get the king of radio, Ira Glass, explaining the concepts of storytelling, telling you how radio shows are made, and that is really very invaluable insights. And if you follow some of these radio shows that are listed here, you will also be able to read the interviews from the journalists that create those shows, and that would be the main highlight for me. This is a book that I see that I would definitely reread, because there's a lot of knowledge inside, and one reading, it's probably not enough to absorb everything. So where can you find this book? I will post a link to where you can get this book in the video description below. If you're buying this on Amazon, there is a Kindle version, which I do not recommend because the fonts are going to be very small. If you take a look at the fonts here, they are already quite small. So in the Kindle format, you are reading on a 6-inch Kindle, it's going to be even smaller. So do not buy the Kindle version. Get the paperback instead. That's all for today's book review. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comment section below, and remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't done so. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.